If you're thinking about making a move from California to Utah, stay tuned. I will tell you some of the differences you may notice once you move here. When I say California, I'm talking about Orange County. My name is Heidi Knowlton, and I'm your local real estate expert. If you're looking to learn more about Utah and the Salt Lake Valley, subscribe to my channel now. Stay tuned to the very end to hear the biggest change that was hard for me to adjust to. Two of the biggest differences that you'll notice when you're in Utah is first the weather, and second is religion. I'll talk about weather first. My favorite time of year here is definitely spring and fall, but it's so short. It seems like it only lasts a few weeks. Fall, everything's cooling down. The colors are changing in all the trees. It's wonderful. Come spring, you've got everything turning green again, and it's so beautiful to watch it. Then there's summer and winter. Summers here are really pretty. There's so much to do outside, and it is hot. Sometimes it does get into the hundreds, but there aren't many days that hit the hundreds. But everyone's out and about in the summertime. There's lots of lakes. There's lots of hiking, fishing, boating. There's so much to do here in the summer. In the wintertime, it is pretty cold. You do get snow. Our first frost is in mid-October in the Salt Lake Valley usually. And we get snow all the way through April. And there's usually 1 or 2 snow days in May. Also in the winter, there's lots to do if you go up into the mountains, go up into Park City. There's ski resorts, there's snowshoeing, snowboarding, snow tubing. There's lots to do in the wintertime here also. The other really big difference that you're gonna notice out here is religion. When people talk about Utah, you always hear about Mormons. There are a lot of Mormons out here, but there's also a lot of people out here that are not Mormon. We are at about over 60% Mormon out here. But like I said, there's lots of people that aren't Mormon also. Everyone out here is really friendly. Being Mormon does come up a lot in conversations. People will ask if you are or if you aren't. But anyways, it wasn't that big of a switch for me. Some people are worried about that, but it's not something that was a big deal at all coming out here. Some people are, some people aren't, and that's fine. So now that I got the 2 biggest changes, I'll move on to the third. So next is the grid system. Our streets are all on what's called a grid system. So it starts in Salt Lake City, and then it goes north, south, east, and west. So if you're going north, you're gonna have 100 north, 200 north. If you're going south, you'll have 100 south, 200 south, and so on. It's pretty much for all of Salt Lake County, but a lot of the roads, most of the roads do run north, south, east, and west, and that's how people reference direction out here. It's not left and right, it's north, south, east, and west. So usually when you hear an address, you'll know kind of where it's at. If it's on 700 East, you know it's on the east side of the freeway, and so forth. So it's really easy to get directions out here and kind of know where you're going. The fourth change that you'll notice is cost of living. I'm from Orange County, so coming from Orange County to Utah, it's much cheaper. The cost of living, at least for real estate, is about half. You've got homes in Orange County that start around $400 a square foot. Out here you have some at $100 a square foot, and they go up from there. So the housing is much cheaper. As far as kids' sports, dance classes, soccer, football, all that is also much cheaper out here in Utah, at least half the cost for me from what I found. I'm sure that's not the same everywhere, but the food cost is about the same. I didn't notice a huge difference in the food cost. But in Utah, you do have to pay sales tax on your groceries. And out in Orange County, you don't pay sales tax on your groceries. So expect that little bit of a change. The next difference that you will notice from California to Utah is the driving. The driving in Orange County is crazy. The drivers there drive so fast. They're not very polite. And it's really frustrating. And then all the traffic. In Salt Lake City, Salt Lake County area, the drivers here are mostly polite. They'll slow down and let you in if you need to change lanes. They're not going to cut you off as much. There are still some erratic drivers out here, but it's nothing like what you'll find out in Orange County, California. And lastly, the biggest change that was hard for me was going from beaches to lakes. In Orange County, I lived close to the beaches, and out here, there are no beaches, so we go to the lake instead. And I'm always on the hunt for the best lakes that have a little shoreline with some sand, so my kids can play in the sand, and we can paddleboard and kayak. In Utah, there are a lot of lakes, but not all of them have a nice sandy shore. If you want to know about lakes out here that have a nice sandy shore, watch this other video. If you have any other ideas, it's something I missed, put them in the comments. I love to hear about it. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about Utah and the Salt Lake Valley, subscribe to my channel.